You can say that people are impoverished. All of us are impoverished. All Nigerians. I don't know of any Nigerian that is not impoverished by the state. The state does not provide you with quality health care. The state does not provide you with quality education. The state does not provide even quality drinking water. So are we to all pick up arms now and turn against each other and start abducting fellow Nigerians that are deprived like you and claiming they are protecting against the state? Banditry is a cultural form of criminality among that demography that came to the fore when the state receded. As simple as that. If you see any part of the world where you have existential security challenges, that is the one that is so dominant that it becomes a threat to the state. For instance, I keep saying this, if you have a situation where you have 1,000 people living in a community and you have 2 criminals there, it is easy to manage. The police can manage that. But when you have 1,000 people living in a community and 800 actually criminals, a community of criminals, then it tells you that this is just beyond crime. Bandits think they are doing the right thing, thanks to people like Gumi. They think they are on the right, they think they are victims. So when they kidnap you, they think you are the reason why they are poor, according to them. And so they are trying to exact that which belongs to them from fellow Nigerians that are poor like them. So what the state needs to do is to become the state. In terms of religion, I keep making this argument too. Boko Haram is not just thriving because a few people are involved. No. There is an ideology that is behind Boko Haram.
What is that ideology?
I can break it down into three components. The quest for an Islamic state, a Sharia-governed Islamic state. Fortunately, unfortunately, majority of Nigerian Muslims, if not global Muslims, actually believe in this aspiration. You saw it with the Sharia movement before the year 2000 implementation of Sharia in Zamfara and some number of other states. You saw it. You've seen blasphemy law being implemented in Nigeria. You've seen some attempts towards Islamization of some parts of Nigeria. Now, what these young men are doing is simple. Where political Islam failed to deliver the ideal, they're trying to use jihadism to achieve same. So to remove the wind from the sail of terrorism in Nigeria, we need to revisit the root causes of this problem from the mainstream. You can't have a country where you have Sharia governed state, against the constitution, where you have Hizbah enforcing so-called Sharia laws in a plural, secular, democratic country, and the president to have Boko Haram as a fallout. Because some people will be satisfied because Hizbah seems to be only concerned about the poor, while the rich and the elite are exempted from the rules. So somebody will feel this is not really Islamic in the sense you are trying to preach. So they're trying to put to practice what are you preaching in the mainstream. Now, if you look at the second leg of it, it has to do with the relationship between Muslims and non-Muslims. I have had reasons to say, look, the redesignation of Christians and Jews from fellow believers and people of the book, who are essentially people of the same faith as us, to non-believers, is part of the reason why it is easy for Boko Haram members to target non-Muslims, for jihadists to target non-Muslims. Because to them, it is justifiable to achieve the higher goal of a Puritan Islamic state. Now, the third leg is the Tafri doctrine. And you wonder why some jihadists kill fellow Muslims. In the consideration of these jihadists, such Muslims are not Muslims enough because they do not believe in their own doctrine. They do not believe in their own radical ideology. So if you do not believe, as I'm speaking to you now, most people judge me to not be a good Muslim. So I'm a legitimate target, for instance, for jihadists. Because I'm taking this stand I'm taking now. Because I believe, for instance, that Nigeria is a secular state, I must remain secular, which protects all faith groups, the free practice of their religion. So I've said it several times that in Nigeria as a Muslim, I enjoy exceedingly the freedom to practice my Sharia faith under the 1999 Constitution. Because you know why? Everything I believe as a Muslim, all the do's and don'ts for me as a Muslim, are allowed under the 1999 Constitution. What does not allow me to do is to impose my own value system on other Nigerians who are not of my faith, the same way others cannot impose theirs on me. That is the beauty of secularism. So I'm allowed to practice my religion. I do not take alcohol as a Muslim. The Constitution of Nigeria does not make it a citizenship obligation for me to take alcohol. I would have fought for that if that were to be the case. But to make the whole thing so beautiful for us as Muslims in Nigeria, The most contentious issue used to be jihad, which used to be hijab, I mean, in public schools and other places. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Secular Court of Nigeria, with Christians sitting in the panel, sat down and ruled that jihad should be allowed for all Muslim women at every level.
Hijab.
Under the 1999 Constitution. So what else do I want?
Hijab.
In fact, the state has gone a stretch further to provide some support system for me as a Muslim. Pilgrimage boards, public holidays for Eid, things that in other countries maybe I may not enjoy. So our own secularism is not anti-religion. It is pro-religion, but in the plural manner. That is, you have yours and other people should be allowed to have theirs.